عائشة رضي الله عنها قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تحروا ليلة القدر في الوتر من العشر الأواخر من رمضان. رواه البخاري. عن عائشة رضي الله عنها قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تحروا ليلة القدر في الوتر من العشر الأواخر من Ramadan. It is narrated from Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, search for the night of power, Laylatul Qadr, and the odd nights of the last 10 of Ramadan. It is narrated from Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, search for the night of Qadr and the odd nights of the last 10 of Ramadan. Commentary. According to the majority of scholars, the last 10 begin from the 21st night. It matters not whether the month is 29 or 30 days. In light of this calculation, one has to look for the night of Qadr according to the above hadith in the 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, and 29th nights. If the month is 29 days, then too it will be called the last 10. However, the opinion of Ibn Hazm rahmatullah alayh, is that the meaning of Ashra is 10. Therefore, this above explanation will apply when the crescent is sighted on the 30th. But if the month is 29 days, then the last 10 will begin on the 20th night. In this case, the odd nights will be the 20th, 22nd, 24th, 26th, and 28th. However, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to perform i'tikaf in search of Laylatul Qadr, and he used to begin this on the 21st. This is a unanimously accepted fact. Therefore, the opinion of the majority that if Laylatul Qadr is highly possible found, that it, meaning Laylatul Qadr, is very probable to be found on the odd nights from the 21st onwards, and this is more preferred, even though it is possible for it to be found on other nights. Advice. It is possible to search for Laylatul Qadr according to both views. If one stays awake every night from the 20th night until the night of Eid, and a person remains worried about finding the night of Qadr. It is not very worrying or difficult to stay awake for 10 or 11 nights. This is because it is not difficult to stay awake for the one who has hope of attaining reward. And he quotes a poet, and my Urdu is very deficient, so I won't go into the Urdu, I'll just go into the English, that in order to establish relationship with Allah Ta'ala, one should work hard with humility, no matter how hard she has to work on it. So tonight we find ourselves that it's going to be the 27th of Ramadan. The night of the 27th is coming up from Maghrib. And generally this has been considered one of the more probable nights, more probable dates for Laylatul Qadr, the 27th night. So, look, whatever has passed already, whatever is gone is gone. There's not too much we can do about it. Moving forward, we have this night, which is ahead of us. So in this 27th night, we can work hard, we can push ourselves to catch Laylatul Qadr. I was speaking to one brother earlier today, and he was mentioning that he feels like this Ramadan has passed and he has not been able to achieve much. He was feeling bad about it. So this hadith came to mind that إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالْخَوَاتِمِ, that deeds will be judged based on their endings. Deeds will be judged based on their endings. That no matter what happened throughout the beginning, throughout these 26 days which have passed, but we push ourselves now, because this is the time that we have left. This towards the tail end of Ramadan. So we push ourselves to make the best out of this Ramadan. We still have this 27th night and this 29th night. We have these 2 nights left. And if we go in the opinion of Ibn Hazm, rahmatullah alayh, we'll get into a whole discussion on that. But you stick to the scholars of your own school of thought. So he's one scholar who is of the opinion that, you take things literally. So the last 10, he would say, okay, 29th, what? Because he took things literally. Whereas Mullah Zakaria rahmatullahi mentions that it was unanimous that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be in i'tikaf from the 29th night up till the end of Ramadan. So anyways, whatever the case is, we have our scholars, we follow, whatever the take is, what our scholars are mentioning to us. So we have, whatever is past is past. We have these 2 odd nights which remain. 3 are down, 2 to go. There's still a chance that we catch Laylatul Qadr, so we make this effort to catch it. Push ourselves. Just 4 days left for Ramadan. So now we should increase on our tilawat. One of the brothers that normally comes here, he had an objective that he wanted to read so much Quran in this month. So maybe he hasn't been able to do it. Many times we are spending our 40 days in Jamaat, and we have an intention that I'm going to read so much Quran. And then what happens is that I do not. The pace at the beginning has not been good. So I make up towards the tail end, now reading 3-4 paras a day so that I catch my Quran or whatever I'm supposed to be reading. So this is the same case with us. Whatever we had planned to do in the beginning of Ramadan, it is what it is. We caught what we caught, we missed what we missed. But now, whatever we have not caught already, let's strive for it. And that's why when we were doing Talim a bit earlier, we were going over the virtues of Quran so that maybe we can push ourselves. And we always need that little motivation, every single one of us. That's why when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would encourage the Sahaba. We look in some of the books of Hadith, enjoining good, forbidding evil. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would mention the virtues. He would mention the virtues of deeds. He didn't tell them, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. But he would tell them, shall I not tell you? Shall I not tell you? One Sahabi, this was after one of the campaigns, the campaign of Khaybar, and they came and there were a lot of spoils of war. They made a lot. In a very short time, they came back with a huge amount of spoils of war. So one Sahabi mentions, I was buying, selling, till I made 300 uqiyah of silver, which is a good little fortune. Keeps you going for over a year. It's a good amount of money. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, oh, you made that much? Shall I tell you someone who made more profit? It's like, hey, I made, hey, I started Amazon. Who made more profit than me? Shall I tell you who made more profit? Like, tell me who made more profit. That person who prays 2 rakat after Fard Salat. 2 rakat Sunnah after Fard Salat. So now don't be like Khadija reading 2 rakat after Asr Salat. That doesn't happen. But after Dhuhr, Maghrib and Isha, yes. So 2 rakat after Fard Salat. This is the person who has made more profit. So we have this opportunity in front of us now. So let's push ourselves. It's the last couple of minutes of the third period. 1 goal down. Time to pull the goalie from the net and really push all efforts, make all efforts to get the last couple of goals in. Come back with the Stanley Cup. Now's the time, inshallah. So Allah give us all the tawfiq to bring this into our lives. And one last point. We find ourselves in this pandemic situation. Everyone is in the situation where we're in. And we're all locked down to some extent or another. So what do? The person who's in i'tikaf, who is making i'tikaf in the masjid for the last 10 days, is also locked down. The person who's in this lockdown, he's also locked down. And whichever other situation we find ourselves in, that we're constrained to one level or another. Allah knew that we're going to be in these different situations. And Allah wants to see what we're going to make out of these different situations. What are we going to do to gain maximum nearness to Him? So even if we're not coming to the masjid for khatam and so on and so forth, it doesn't matter. If in the situation that we are in, we are doing what we can do to gain nearness to Allah, then you've won. then we have won as long as we have done that much. And if we're not doing that much and we're brooding over what we cannot do, then we're letting this opportunity pass from our hands. It's just slipping from us. So use this time wherever we are. It would be the night that the masajid would be full, full, full to the brim, because the 27th night would be khatams of Quran here and there and fundraising too, which is my less favorite part. But people would be there, and now we're locked down, so we cannot do it. But use this time. Whatever khatam would have been, we read our own khatam, we read our own Quran. Whatever there is, inshallah, we do it in our own capacity, whatever capacity we can, so that inshallah we gain this nearness to Allah. May Allah give me first and all of us this tawfiq. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallah bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum. I mean, it is what it is.